Welcome into an episode of Under the Grandstand, Palmerston North Boys High School's finest old boys, where we just chat with great old boys, all kinds of old boys, and some of them, occasionally more famous than others. And today we're joined by somebody who's very special, who has a very strong association with the school these days, and in fact is responsible for what is going on under the grandstand. I see a picture of myself, I see a picture of my father. I'm feeling pretty proud right now. Bruce Hemara, Bruiser, great to have you here. I mean, obviously, PNBHS. I mean, it'd be an understatement to say it's been a massive part of your life, huge part of your life, and still is today.
Yeah, kia ora, Hamish. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you, mate. You're one of the most famous of all. You're top of the list.
Well, yeah, this place is pretty special. It's been a big part of my life. And it's more than 50 years of association with the school, and lots of really good memories here from the beginning right through to the present time.
We're going to flesh out a few of those memories. 1971, you arrive here. There's a new rector. Eric White's come to town. You're a young fellow. What did you know about Boys High? What was your what were you thinking on arriving here on that day?
Oh, well, I knew a little bit. I mean, I was at Pinnins at Intermediate Normal back then. I came from there, but I actually lived down the road, down North Street, down the bottom of North Street.
Oh, so you're in North Street, yeah?
Yeah,
You're
I
a
lived
local
down there. So I'd walk past the school every day, going to school and walk home. So I knew a little bit about the school, and I definitely knew it's where I wanted to come for my high school. And each day I'd walk past, especially in the winter time, and I'd see the first 15 out on the backfield out here, and I couldn't even see over the fence back then, so I just sort of watch them through the wire. And over time, it was just sort of a matter of whether I'd get the opportunity to come here. And I was lucky enough to be able to come.
Did you see Coke in those early days? Did you hear, laddie? Were you familiar with that?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I'd seen him training, and I didn't really know who he was, but at the time, but I was just watching. I just love rugby, so I'd just watch them train, and I'd see some players that I thought I knew, because I'd seen them at some stages just around town, and I knew that Boys High. Yeah. So, but I didn't really have much idea about who Coke was, or who and what he would become for me anyway. So it was just the fact I wanted to come to Boys High and play rugby here. Yeah. That was my motivation.
Not a bad place to come and play rugby, Bruiser.
Yeah, look, even back then.
Yeah. So we're going to delve into that a bit more. I can't wait to sort of flesh out some of that 1970s time and some of the old teammates and the teams you played and the results. But right now, let's just encapsulate right now what you're doing back here. And obviously, you've had an amazing project here under the grandstand for the first 15 and the history of the first 15. So the role today, just tell us about that. And you're involved in day-to-day with the team?
Yeah, basically I came back to be involved with a rugby program that they'd started, part of the sports development rugby program, and then sort of connect up with the various teams. And over the last few years I've really focused on the rugby program, sports development, as part of sports development with the year 9 and 10s and the first 15. So that's basically my role in the school, it's sort of developed over the years of trying to just build our rugby program to be able to produce players, quality players, right through the grades. It's got a strong history, rugby history, and so we've just continued looking at how we can develop players. Because it's a definite pathway for young men nowadays to find futures and a future in the sport. So we want to try and get them to a level that they maybe get looked at, or they get opportunities for their futures in rugby. And that's just not developing them, trying to develop them as players, but obviously trying to, as characters, as young men, and it's tremendous. It's great.
Yeah, fantastic. You obviously I watch you walking up and down the sideline on match day.
Hobbling now.
Oh, well, you're not quite as mobile as you perhaps once were, Bruiser, but as you see the intensity, you kind of ride every pass, every tackle, every scrum.
Oh, I mean, that's just, once the ball, well, even before the game, it's, that's just, I just love being part of it. It's, I don't know how to explain it, but it's, it's just a passion, really.
Well, the grandstand would have been here. The field wasn't a hell of a lot different. I mean, do you have do you have clear visual recall of your days?
I have some. I mean, we got changed in here for training, but we didn't get changed in here for games. We would get changed in the old gym. What's called the old gym there, and we'd walk across. But I remember this place like the back of my hand. We spent lots of trainings in here, and the old the bog, I guess it was, for a number of years. You're always struggling to get your feet out of the mud. And it wasn't much better when I came back, to be honest. But it's they've done a bit of work on it, and it's not too bad now. But I just loved to be part of being involved in the rugby program here when I was at school, and being the first 15 was that was my goal really. Was to make it.
It's amazing what you've done in here. In fact, in my years here, which was 79 to 83, we didn't actually. This was only for storage of there was a few dirty old tackle bags. I think we parked the scrum machine in here, and hurdles. Digger Doyle's hurdles were all through, all through here. So I might have come in here, I reckon, 20 times in my 5 years here, as opposed to what the guys do now.
Well, that's exactly what it was when I came back. That's what it was. It was a storeroom, not a changing room. It was a storeroom. It was stored. The hurdles were in that little room underneath, and then everything else was stored. All the tackle bags, hit shields, everything you can think of that was required on the field was all stored down that end. This was pretty free, I think, because the coaches came down here. And it was really wasn't conducive to preparing for a match. So I felt this, maybe we could do something better with the place and give it some meaning and some significance for the boys as a place to come and prepare for really meaningful games. And once they go out in the field, they know they're in the best position mentally to go and perform. So we tried to make some changes.
Fantastic. Right out. I'm going to go back to school days a bit now, and any sort of you talk about developing character, the academic side. We've talked about Ian Cahoon, but what about sort of your teachers? Is there anybody that sort of comes to mind that made a difference to you during that time?
Oh, I mean, I had some hard case teachers, I guess ones that stood out to me. I mean, I had my rugby coach when I first came. I was in the 4th grade A, which was like the under 14 A's, I guess. Was Tāna Nanagara. He was my coach, and he was quite interesting. He had an expression like, he used to call some people, if you weren't doing the stuff, the village idiot. And I got interested when he got upset. He would just shake his head and say, "No, we don't. You are the village idiot of our team." So nobody wanted to get branded with being
the village idiot. Mr. Nanangara, right?
Yeah. And I remind him of that when I see whenever I see him as well. But he was my first team at the school was pretty important. And then I guess playing for Flan, Don Flannery.
Oh, Flannery, he is a name.
We used to call him Gigantor back in the day. He was like, you know Gigantor at all?
No.
Big robot.
Okay. Because wasn't he quite handy with the...
Yeah. He had a reputation for being pretty hard on the old... He was a big man too.
Yeah.
So he could pick a bit of grunt behind it when he let it go. But he never had the same reputation as Coke had.
As Coke. Yeah. So a few teachers come to mind. And what about... I always find that when I walk around the old school over there, even though there's new buildings and things have changed, it's still kind of... hasn't changed a lot. I find myself walking around and going, whoa, geez, remembering something that happened on that spot. So it's still, it has changed, but it hasn't in a way.
No, I don't think. I mean, it's still very familiar to me. Even all these years ago. I mean, there might be an extra block. I mean, obviously, Specian wasn't there, and when I started, I think the pool was in where the centre or the. Space Centre or the...
Space Centre's where the pool was.
That was it. And even before that, I think it was back over on Featherston Street, over on Rangatiki Street. Over on the far side of the field. Yeah. So, it just didn't seem like it changed a lot now. I mean, the admin block and B block and C block, they're all pretty much as I remember them as a pupil. D block was pretty run down even then.
Yeah, So did you find there's a time when you leave school and there's probably a period of our lives where we kind of step back from the school, but it draws you back, doesn't it? It's amazing how many guys get... And I think of Emosi Colotto, who always talks about he felt for a long time that he was sort of... And then one day the penny dropped. Ironically, it was after a health scare and he sort of woke up and thought, hold on. I owe everything to that school. I better get, it's amazing how suddenly we just go, whoa.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Academically, I was the only one to get school seat in my family through coming here. And I felt definitely the values of the school and the structure of the school had a huge influence on me. I mean, we were sort of on the edge of going a little bit in the other direction, but just the fact you had to come in, you had to have the socks up, you had your hair cut, you had all those sort of things that were reinforced every day of the week. And they stuck with me, that's for sure. And I think a lot of the boys will find the same. And I started coming back not long after I left to sort of help out with different teams. Coke sometimes would give us a call to come back and just help with something after I'd gone, and so I tried to I stayed connected with the school for basically since I left. At various times I'd be back here helping out, and I think that connection's never sort of gone away. Yeah.
So would you say? I mean. Well, I suppose I'm, stating the obvious here, but a hugely positive impact on your life overall.
Oh, huge. Huge impact on me. Not many of my family stayed at school for that long. I stayed for 5 years. Which
couldn't get you out of the place.
No, I didn't want to leave, to be honest. And I didn't. When I did finally go, it was sort of. With a bit of trepidation about getting out, because you were so accustomed to the structure of the school and my mates and everything like that. But I ended up working with a lot of my mates anyway. Yeah.
So what about the old Shan Shield? What club were you in?
I was Kia Ora Club, and run by Errol Brookie. So he ran a pretty tight ship. So I started in year 9 third form, and Kia Ora Club, and it was it was great. I loved it.
Were you pretty competitive? I mean, we always won. Murray Club always won. You understand?
Oh,
you don't mind me saying.
Only the marching really back.
Well, how did you guys go at the marching? Actually, Errol would have been pretty. He would have had his pipe out there.
He would oversee all of our marching, and he would he was got a hard case. That'd be the funniest part of that, especially coming back, especially with with the year 9s or the third formers. The way he sort of spoke around, boys not fidgeting, leave it alone, it'll grow. So he was got a hard case, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Again, it was just all that structure and just being a part of a club was great.
Yeah.
And Kia Ora Club was a pretty competitive club back in the day. So.
What about the old boxing? Did you see, because that was pretty much compulsory back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, that was another, sort of a bonus to be able to, participate in the boxing, because I still think we were the only school that had the boxing.
Yeah.
And it was really well organised.
Yeah.
And they put a ring up in the old gym. Well, they had a ring in the old gym on the floor, and then they put a proper ring up in the hall for the finals.
Yeah.
So the boxing was young, and it was compulsory, more or less. Well, I think it was compulsory for Murray. They had to.
It was compulsory.
They had to end it because it was all Shan-Shield points.
Yeah, see this rearranged nose? That's what it was compulsory. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, boxing was, just it was a great time of the year when the boxing came around. Everybody, you could see them all out in the quad, sparring with each other and getting their swing, getting prepped up. So it was good. I love that part as well.
Yeah, no, good. An old tradition that went on for a long, long time. And anyway, so let's get it forward. So you leave school. What's your sort of 2 years out of school, and obviously not too long before you're in that Manawatu environment and battling it out with old Denny Clare and a Manawatu team. Pretty special environment to be part of.
Yeah. I left. When I left, I've sort of been played under 21 for 3 years with the first 15, so I sort of thought I could have a crack at senior rugby. Normally the pathway would have been under 21s, school under 21s, maybe senior Bs, and then seniors, but I just thought, I played under 21s for quite a while. And then I looked around the clubs to see who the other hookers were around the other clubs, to see whether there'd be an opportunity to make a senior side. And I ended up going to Freiburg, mainly through a work friend who happened to be the club captain. He said to come along to a training. And so I went to training and made the senior team after some pre-season games. So I managed to and when I turned up to try my very first training, there was Ken Mahari was there, Colin Murray, Ken Granger. They were playing. Gary Knight had been playing for Freiburg, but he my first training was his last. He left, went to high school. So I decided to stay at Fry's and have a crack at making the senior team. He managed to make it, and that was in '76, I think. And then afterwards, in '77, I made got second for the Manawatu squad with Denny. So it was it came pretty quick, but in those days, you had to it was a bit of an apprenticeship involved. Once you made team, so I didn't get on the field at all in '77. I was trained at every training, but I was on the bench. In those days, you didn't have guys coming on and off, so I just had to wait for an injury. And the team was so strong and so well organised. Denny never came off, and I wouldn't expect him to come off. Plus, he was probably he was unlucky not to become an All Black in '77 as well, because he was outstanding. So it was a huge learning experience for me in those days. And plus, our forward pack was so strong. Ken Lambert, Gary Knight, Kevin Everly, John Loveday, John Callison, Mark. Well, Mark wasn't in '77; he came in '78. Jeff Old, Terry Soul. I was just there to learn, really.
The case who didn't, who did you, a lot of good players would have been left out. Actually, Bruce, tell us that story about so you turn up and Gary Knight has one, then he's sort of down to the toffee area into town,
Well, that was a surprise to me. I'd sort of followed Manawatu rugby when they won the Shield '76, and then I knew he was part of Freiburg. Then he'd been playing for Freiburg, and so when I went down to the training, I didn't realise that it was sort of when he told the club that he was going, leaving. So it was sort of a bit of a sombre mood at the club on that particular day that I turned up. So and then we ended up. He went off to high school Old Boys, and then was a big line-up to see who was going to replace him at Fry's.
Yeah, the mighty Axel. So how many years did you sort of feel like you spent, how many years was it sort of on the bench to Denny, I guess?
Well, in 70, my games were like, in 77 I didn't play any. Yeah. So I was on the bench the whole time for every game that year. Yeah. Then in 78 I played one. Yeah. I think one of the first games, my first game was against Wairarapa Bush over there. And then that was it. And then in 79 I played two.
Yep.
And then that was it. And then 70, and then 80 I sort of managed to, I was on the bench right up until we went down to the South Island. We played 3 games of South Island. We played Southland and just beat them. We played Otago, and Denny played that game. Denny played Otago, and I got the South Canterbury game, which we won as well. So we won all 3 games, and then we came back. And then I ended up playing the rest of the games till the end, the rest of the home games. North Auckland, Hawke's Bay, Bay of Plenty, Hawke's Bay, North Auckland, Hawke's Bay, and then Bay of Plenty.
Yep.
That was the final. That was the last game. And it was won the championship.
That was 1980.
1980, yeah.
Yeah. So that was the last game of the year, was it? That Bay of Plenty.
Bay of Plenty game was the last game, though. Yeah.
And Craig Wick scored out on the wing.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, and one thing I remember about that game too is.
Oh no, it was Canterbury as well. Was in that?
Canterbury.
It was the last 4 games. Canterbury. I think it was Hawke's Bay, Canterbury, North Auckland.
Yep.
Bay of Plenty.
Bay of Plenty. Remember that Bay of Plenty game, going to it, being a 4th former from College House, going along and watching it, because I can remember Wicko scoring in the corner. I can remember the late Alex Tartner doing one of his little steps and scoring.
I got the last try off that.
Yeah.
Off that run.
And the late Murray Rosenbrook. Murray played at the scored a try in that game, I think, too.
He scored a try off the back of the line, yeah.
And Dougie Rollison was in there.
Yeah.
So the ones that have sort of gone were all involved in the scoring that day.
Yeah. That's right.
And then you sort of cross over into a bit of from that championship winning team, you play through to quite a brigade of younger guys. They came from all around the country in those days. Your McDermotts and your Bryce Bevans and that from all. It was a great
university
mix,
had a big effect. A lot of those guys came for uni. Yeah. And made the team. So there was a lot of another sort of generation, I guess. Yeah. Started to come through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're right.
Did you enjoy any time of that more than the? I mean, obviously, in this era, you would have played 30 games in those first 3 years, even if it was the last 20. Different world now. But it was a time or a team that you particularly enjoyed for Manawatu.
Oh, they all had their. They all had. Were great teams to be involved with. But over the period of time, you sort of. Your responsibility changes as well. From being like the apprentice and there to learn to follow, you start having to sort of have more leadership as you go through. So responsibilities change, and then you sort of feel like you got to try and guide some of the younger guys through. Because you had Danny Morrison, I think, was another young guy that came through.
Sadly, no longer with us, Danny.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And right through until I finished, I think it was more or less I was just trying to obviously play well and get Manawatu and keep Manawatu in a strong position, keep them in the first division, which we were until 1988, and then try and bring through a lot of young players. So it was probably maybe 2 generations of players. That came through over that period.
Yeah. So when did you play your last game for Manawatu?
1990 was my last game.
Last game was 1990?
Yeah. Last game against Hawke's Bay. The very last game.
So did that would have been through what? Bullitt was coaching.
He was the coach.
And then the year before then was Garth and Donnie, and then
Gary Walker.
And then Graham the whole time before that. Graham
Hamer from 86. Then Kevin Everly coached in 87.
Oh, that's right. Kevin had, yes.
He coached 87.
Yeah. Well, some fantastic memories in there, without a doubt. On the sort of more international scene, 82, you made the Māori All Blacks side that went away on a tour.
Yeah.
What's your recollection of that trip?
Well, I was lucky to make that because it was Hickory got injured. He broke his arm in the last game. I think it was maybe a club game, and I was actually out at Te Kawa playing for Freiburg when I got a message saying like he'd broken his arm, and I think you're gonna be going to you've been chosen to go to Wales. So it was a bit of a shock. For sure. So, so
it was a shock to none of us though, because we thought you should have been in the team anyway, regardless, Bruce.
I thought it was a bit of a joke to start with, but then, when sort of reality hit, then it was just about trying to stay fit, and I think we had some more club games and trying to not get injured myself. But it was. Something was just a huge shock, but I just felt a lot of pressure.
To
you got to sort of perform at that level.
What are your recollections of on the field over there?
Oh, just it was some good battles. First time the Māori team had toured for 20 or 30 years, or maybe longer. I think in the 50s. I think was the last time that a Māori team had gone to Europe. And in Wales, just total passionate in rugby. It's interesting because we sort of prepared performances, we'd get the guitar out and sing, but every time we went to some place, they'd have a choir. That'd be unbelievable. So we lost that competition. But there was a lot of pressure off field to as well, and on that, I think a lot of pressure for off field commitments as well. To visit clubs, to get around everywhere, and then the games were tough games. So we beat Cardiff, I think, the first game, and then we might have lost I think we lost 2 or 3 games on that in the Welsh part, as well as the international, the final. But I just enjoyed it as much as I could. It was a great place to visit, very hospitable place. They were great hosts, and very good. They're
great people, aren't they? I love telling this story too. In 1983, you would have played against the Lions here, I guess, in 83. And the great Graham Price was the adopted Lion for Palmerston North Boys High School.
Oh, is that right?
So Price, he came to our first 15 training.
Right.
They did that off-field stuff as well. And in 2002. I got him involved in a commentary for the All Blacks. He commentated the All Blacks Wales game with me, the last game that Jonah played. So what are we talking, 2002, 19 years after he was here. And when I first called him, I said, "Oh, Mr. Price, I met you." And he said, "You had that bloody big Tongan boy at number 8. And I thought to myself, how does he know? And he said, "No, to be fair, I watched him play for Widnes, and I remembered him." I said, "I remembered him. How could I forget his name? The schoolboy walks in, he's bigger than any of our pack." So I love that about the Welsh. They got a certain thing about
I played against him. He played one of the teams that we played on the selections. Monmouthshire, I think it was. And
he won one hell of a prop.
It was great. It was like an honour to play against him.
So I go forward to so you made the All Black Argentina. Was that Argentina?
85.
85. You went to Argentina. And then it looked like it was sort of going to be there for you, starting with the baby. Called what? Did you play? Your first test would have been the Baby Blacks test of that.
If I'd have gone on the field.
Tell us what happened. So tell us what happened. You were ready to go.
I actually played again. I think it might have been on a Tuesday. I played for Manawatu against North Harbour, and then the test was on a Saturday. So I tweaked my ribbon probably the last scrum of that particular game, just a little tweak. And I thought, I'll give it up to be right. So we assembled down in Christchurch on the Wednesday, and went to training, had a bit of a run, and the team was like nobody knew each other.
Yeah.
Because all the guys that have gone to South Africa with the Cavaliers had been banned from playing. So it was like, introducing each other. And Sean was there, and I don't know whether I came across him when we played Auckland or something like that. I don't think we did. I might have been when we played Auckland. He was playing, but he might have been even in the reserves back then. But he was, he was on the bench. So we just had a bit of a training run and sort of met each other, and that was our first. That was on the Thursday, on the Wednesday, sorry. And then on the Thursday we got into training proper, and we had a full-on, live scrum session. So and I think we had Borovich and
McGrattan.
Brian McGrattan was there, and I was sort of marking Fitzy in the scrums, and I got through that. Yeah. It was full on, and and then we go into a team run, and as you normally do, you go and throw the ball, you get into a sort of a mock scrum, and we're all standing up, and I just went down to bend forward and hook the ball back, because there's no opposition, there's nobody there. I just rolled it in, and as I twisted to hook it, I just felt half my ribcage sort of fall apart. And it was not really innocuous sort of movement, and I thought, oh shit, that doesn't feel good. So I popped over to the physio and I said to him that I think I've done something to my ribs. And he pulled me straight off the training. I couldn't train. I Fitzy went down and finished off the training session. And I started treatment on it. And BJ Lahore was the coach. So we spoke to him, and he said basically, just work on the treatment, get it right. We'll give you as long as it takes to get it right. So I got treated. I had acupuncture, everything I could think of over the next 2 days, over rest of Thursday and Friday. And by Friday afternoon, I was sort of thinking, no, it's not going to be right, because the French pack was a pretty grizzled, hardened pack, and I thought, shit, I'm not going to risk going out there half cocked, half injured, and then so I went and saw BJ and said, mate, I'm no good. So he said, okay, you want to stay, you want to go? And I wanted to go home, so I just basically left and flew home.
Geez, that must have been a pretty tough moment,
Oh,
Or were you seeing a bigger, what was...
No, it was just, see how shit happens, and it's not going to change anything if I was, broke anything, or, it's just, that was a situation, so, and I didn't really feel like I wanted to hang around. I'd rather get home.
Yeah.
So I went home, and they brought Ian Abercrombie in from Auckland.
Yeah.
He was on the bench.
Yeah. So that's and then what? Were you involved again after that, or just? Yeah. Well, when the Aussies came. Yep.
The following year.
Yep.
And was it the following year? Or was it later that year? No, it might have been later that year.
Yep. Yeah. It was just after. Yeah.
Well, my rib had come right, because I played for Manawatu against Aussie. We almost beat them. We lost 6-9, I think.
That's right.
And I played in that game.
Alan Jones's team. Yeah.
Michael Liner kicked the penalty right on full time to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I played in that game and got selected for the test team.
Yep.
On the bench.
Yep.
So I was on the bench for that game, but those days hookers never came off.
No.
Nobody came off, so there was no one to change. So I was just have to set that one out.
Yeah.
But and basically that was it.
Yeah. No regrets though. You gave it everything
over. I got no regrets. I mean, those things are out of your control. I mean, I don't worry about. I don't spend time sort of thinking. What if? When this happened, it's like shit happens. Move on.
Yeah.
And that's basically because I've had enough injuries to know that you can't. I'd be in a bloody straitjacket if I was worried about every injury I got over the years. So that's been the way I sort of look at those sort of situations. It's happened. I can't do anything about it. Move on.
Yeah. Well, you gave one of the great All Black hookers, Fitzy, a good leg up then, you know. He owes you one. Fitzpatrick, Sean Brian Thomas, you owe Bruce.
No, he doesn't owe me anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't really owe me anything. It's quite funny. Because after that, I went and worked for Lime Breweries, and they had like a quiz card competition, and one of the questions was who did Sean Fitzpatrick replace in the 1986 Test? And I just thought, that might be a good chaser question one day.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic question. Hey, I just want to come back to the first 15, and I'm conscious that we're having quite a long chat here, but we could go for days, I'm sure. Who are a few of your special teammates? Well, I know you'd always be loath to single out individuals, but with a one or two, I mean, around those times, I remember there's some pretty grisly, tough characters playing with you, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's three of us had played 3 years together in the first round. Three.
Yeah.
Three other boys. There's four of us. There's myself, Jeff Grant, Dave Hazlitt.
Oh yeah, Dave. Yeah.
And Mike Robson.
Midfielder, Mike, wasn't he?
Yeah, winger. He was a winger. Yeah. So we made the team in 73 together.
Right.
But I played with Jeff Grant. He was probably the closest, one of my closest friends for years.
Yeah.
So we played 3 years together in the first 15. Then when we left school, he went to College Old Boys, and I went to Freiburg. We played against each other. Then we were in the Manawatu team for maybe 5 or 6 years together, and then we worked together as well.
Yep.
So he was by far the closest, sort of closest guy. He passed away.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe 10
Might
years
be
ago
close
now.
to 10 years now. Yeah.
10 years ago. Yeah, motor neurons disease.
Yeah.
It's a terrible situation with him.
Yeah, there's a great picture of him in one of the Palmistonians. I think was he a pretty good boxer, was he?
Yeah. It's funny. We used to go and spar each other in C block together. It's like at lunchtime. When boxing came around, we used to go and have a bit of a spar. But like he was a monster. I mean, he went in the heavyweight. I went in the light heavyweight division. But he became as a rugby player, he was sort of had to build up a bit of a reputation as a smiling assassin, because he could do some damage.
I always remember with Jeff Grant, there was a feeling around town that there was a couple of the very big names, one or two that might have worn a black jersey, who were strangely quiet in the presence of Jeff Grant.
Yeah. No, he was. But just an unbelievable guy. Yeah, I mean, we were so close for many years.
Yeah.
So I worked with him for 10 years at least. As well. So, we trained together at work. We socialised together as well.
I can remember him coming into we just had so many quality loose forwards. But I remember, I think it was either against the Lions or the Wallabies one day, he just came on, played open side flanker and played like he was a 50 Test All Black.
Unbelievable. That was an 83. Yeah, but he was a prop here.
Oh, okay.
He was a prop.
Oh.
Yeah, he was... and then when he went to play club rugby, they put him onto the side of the scrum, and at number 8, he could play number 8 as well. He was big, he was powerful.
He looked like Tom Selleck, handsome fella.
Yeah. He was.
He was.
You could hang out with him. You could.
I remember just leaving school and thinking,
he's Hawaiian. He's part Hawaiian, which helped, I think.
Oh, that was perfect then. Yeah. Well, Bruce, this has been an absolute honour, and I'm sure there's so much more that we could talk about, but Palmerston North Boys High School has been very lucky to have had you as a pupil, as a son, as a member of the community, and I know it's been good to you too, so good two-way street, eh?
For sure.
And I'm sure there are many more like you, but you're one of the first cabs off the rank, and it's been a real pleasure to talk to you, and thank you very much for being part of for something that is part of you, which is PNBHS Under the Grandstand.
Kia ora, Hamish. Thanks very much for having me, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Years may pass, but the stories remain. boys, young hearts chasing the flame. Supporters and mentors with pride so steep. PB's got the legacy that runs so